You feel it, you know it. D-Raw Productions.
Houston Sports Connoisseurs brought to you by
D-Raw.
What up, people? It's your boy D-Raw, the connoisseur. I'm coming to you with another episode of the HSC. Today I got my boy Charles with me.
What's up, H-Town? You know we ready to go down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. In today's episode, we're going to be covering nothing but the Texans. We're going to talk about the Texans from 2017, Bill O'Brien, to now and into the future. Let's start on that.
Yeah, I'm so happy to be a part of this episode because, you know, I've been a downhard Texans fan since day one, you know, of their inception into the league. And first of all, I feel like it's only fair that we give the people, you know, a little background about me and you before we just dive right in.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's go ahead.
All right, so I met this guy. We had a job together, and we used to sit there as co-workers. You know how you do. You're on the job, you're chopping it up, mixing it up. And we used to go back and forth about these Texans, and we felt it was only fair that we get together and put something down for the podcast and give the people what they want. Some real flavor from some real connoisseurs. So as we sip on a drink and look at these cars passing by on the highway, flies through this thing, D.
Yeah, so, man, I met Charles. He thought I was just this old super arrogant guy, you know what I'm saying?
He is.
When he met me. But I have to let him know, you know, I'm a cool dude, man. You know, I get down just how you get down, you know.
And I give him that. He one of the realest I ever met. So it was only right that we put two and two together and make this happen. So I appreciate you having me on, bro.
Yeah. I appreciate you coming on the show, man, you know. So let's talk about these Texans. Back in 2017, man, we was right on the fringe of possibly, you know, going to the AFC Conference Championship. We had the Chiefs. We was beating them, 24-0. Bill O'Brien, he was looking like the coach for the Texans for the future. We had him already prior a couple years. Deshaun Watson was looking like the quarterback of the future, you know, QB1. We had Lamar Miller at running back. We had DeAndre Hopkins. Man, we had J.J. Watt. Just so many different pieces on the team. And, you know, only thing we could think is the future was bright. Especially at that point in time, 24-0, we beating the Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce, the Cheetah, you know, we was up on them boys. So fast forward a couple more minutes later, or 15, 20 minutes later, man, game tied up and everything is looking on the downside, and here come Bill O'Brien.
Man. So we opening up old wounds right out the gate, huh?
Right out the gate.
You know, he had to bring up the 24-point debacle. That's what I'm going to call it. But, you know, it hurt then and it hurts now. But the future's bright. So, yeah, he talked about some glory days with DeAndre Hopkins, Lamar Miller, and, of course, J.J. Watt. But, you know, the Texans have rebounded quite nicely under D'Amico.
D'Amico,
Would
yeah.
you say so?
Yeah. But, man, even before we got to D'Amico, we had to deal with, his
Cully?
name.
You want to talk about Cully?
Yeah.
You want to talk
David
about
Cully, Lovie Smith. Who was the interim coach under Bill O'Brien?
Who knows? Who cares? Man, them days
black
over.
dude, but yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
It's like, it was, we went through so many regimes, you know, as far as coaches and shit. And now we're here, and we got D'Amico, we got a former Texan, and it feels great, bro. You know, C.J. Stroud.
I think we finally got what we've been looking for as far as stability. We got a good core, a good foundation to build off of going forward. But you know, it's easy to look back on what happened in the past, but your past is what brought you to where you are today. So yeah. I'm kind of, it's bittersweet. I hate that we had to go that route that we went through to get to where we are. But with that being said, I'm extremely excited about the future right now.
Yeah, the future is very bright, bro.
You know, Bill O'Brien, you could say he tanked us. You could say Lovie Smith tanked us with that last game from last season, messing us out of the first round draft pick. But to be honest, the Texans struck me as an organization that was going to listen to all of the critics.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if we had that number 1 pick, we probably would have went with Bryce Young.
You're right. We most definitely would have, because you got to think, everybody on the media, you know, everybody wanted Bryce Young to be number 1, and as he went, he went number 1.
And he was.
But C.J. Stroud was the one quarterback that was overlooked that you really didn't know how to feel about him. You know, everybody knew how to feel about Bryce Young. We all knew how to feel about what's his fucking name in Indianapolis?
Anthony.
Anthony. Yeah, we knew how to feel about him. But CJ, we was very unsure. You know, even Will Levis, we kind of felt like.
But why? Let me just stop you right there. Why did we not know how to feel about C.J. Stroud?
Because
he has all the intangibles. He's got the height. He's got the build. He's got the QB IQ. So why didn't we know?
Well, they didn't think he had the IQ because, you know, they came out with that new test for the pro athletes, and they said he didn't do well on it. But I also think...
Is that a new test, or is that the same test we're talking about with Vince Young?
It's a new test.
So we're not talking about the Wonderlic?
They came out with a whole new test.
Okay.
And he didn't do well on it. And also, you know, him going to Ohio State never really produced any good quarterbacks. So...
But every year, Ohio State produces great athletes.
They do. Hey, shout out to Ohio State. You know what I'm saying? That's one of my favorite teams, man, in college. But Terrell Pryor, man, I used to love Terrell Pryor. But even though like all those guys, bro, when they made it to the pros, they never really figured it out as a quarterback. So, you know, C.J. Stroud be the first quarterback to actually figure it out on a next level and do it well. And that's why, you know, I think C.J. Stroud is he got a bright future, bro.
Well, he's off to an amazing start. I mean, he's shattering all kind of rookie records. I mean, to come out, be consistent with what he's doing. And if what's so amazing about him is normally, in order to get a good feel for a quarterback, you have to get at least a good 10 games into the season. But with C.J. Stroud, we've been able to get a good quality look of production from week 1.
Hey, let me ask you this. How do you feel about C.J. Stroud in comparison to Deshaun Watson, you know, rookie years? I do feel like Deshaun had more weapons and things like that. He came into a better team. But do you feel like C.J. is better than Deshaun? Just rookie to rookie.
No, you gotta forgive me because I'm still a Deshaun Watson fan. I don't care what happened when he was here. But I definitely think C.J. Stroud is on the right track. I mean, as far as production and yardage, I get that to Deshaun Watson. But as far as in reading today's NFL defenses and going out getting better progressively each and every game, I get a nod to C.J. Stroud.
Yep. Deshaun, he definitely had like more wild plays, you know, like bro was breaking sacks
but he was running for his life.
He was.
I mean, it was a Mack truck chasing him every play.
But there's no difference with CJ right now.
It is a difference, and I'm glad you brought that up because for some reason CJ is in a system, and the team has bought into protecting CJ. He was fighting for his life in week 1 and week 2.
Mm-hmm.
But up until this last game that we just played, it's almost like the protection has gotten light years better. And that's what a lot of if you look at the injuries that we have on the offensive line right now, we down to second and third string guys out there giving it they all for him. They are bought in to protecting CJ, and that's a beautiful thing.
Well, you know, if you look at the offensive line, you kind of right, because you got probably the highest paid left tackle in the NFL right now, Laramie Tunsil. You got Josh Jones, who was a first-round former left tackle, I believe so, came out of Houston. You also have Austin Deckles. I mean, yeah, he's not a top pick, but he's doing what he has to do to protect CJ. All those are offensive tackles on the left side. You got Titus Howard. That was a top pick the Texans took a couple years ago, highly paid. And Jared Patterson, and he's very agile, and he can come from center to guard anytime. And he's been playing very, very well at the center position. You know, they even traded for Michael Dieter. They got Drew Scruggs. You know, they drafted him, even though he's injured. He's a solid center coming out of Penn State. So they got a lot of potential. They are trying to protect C.J. Stroud, and they're trying to do their best. Shaq Mason, man, I think that was the highlight of the free agency period for the Texans this past offseason, because they got a guard that can run, not only run block, but he can also pass block. And you know, when you got a young quarterback like that, you really need something up front to really protect him, so he can really learn the game and understand how to read his reads and go through his progressions.
There's two things you just said right there that I totally agree with. I do like the acquisition of Shaq Mason, and the other thing that you said that is absolutely true that we found out the hard way is that a lot of our linemen are interchangeable. Whoever thought we'd live to see today Laramie Tunsil, and Titus Howard lined up side by side on the left side, and that's what the Texans used in their last strategy in the last game.
Right.
But I'm going to challenge you on saying that Shaq Mason was the highlight of our offseason acquisitions, because, to be honest with you, I really think Jimmy Ward has stepped up and solidified that secondary.
You think
When
so?
we brought him in, oh yeah, but that's all D'Amico, because
That's true.
he's a byproduct of the San Francisco system,
And he brought
and
some of his
brought
guys
that
in.
dog in. You know what I'm
Hey.
saying?
D'Amico did bring the dog in with Jimmy Ward. But you know what I love the most about D'Amico? He turned people that you wouldn't expect to be a dog into true dogs. Blake Cashman, bro, he been playing his ass off at linebacker, and nobody expected him to play the way he's been playing, especially against the Saints. Man, he was just all over the field, bro.
I mean, all over the field.
Pass coverage, rushing the running back, you know, fucking making stops on the quarterback. He was everywhere, bro.
Is he leading us in tackles this year?
Shit, let's find out. Let's find out. I'm pretty sure he's up there. Bro, Blake Cashman has been pretty special. He's right there. 18 solos. Henry To'oTo'o is actually the leading tackler. And you know what? Shout out to Henry To'oTo'o.
Shout out.
Coming straight out of Alabama. I expected him to be solid. I know they was talking and saying good things about him, but I didn't expect this out of him. I mean, he can improve on his pass coverage, but when it comes to stopping the run, Henry is right there every time, bro. And he's delivering solid hits every time.
I think he's a lot like CJ. With each game, he's learning more and more, and he's applying it more. He seems to be very coachable. I think once he gets his angles right, because the angles in the NFL is a whole lot different than the angles in college.
That's true, because I watched him over pursue a lot of times,
Yeah.
especially when the running back is out, like when he out like past C gap. That boy, he be over pursuing, he be missing easy tackles. So if he can improve on that, man, his production will just go up that just much more.
And I think another adjustment that he made, and is really, really nice, if you look at his size, he's kind of undersized for that position. But he makes up for it in just football IQ. And he dissects plays very, very quickly. So I got a lot of hope in little young Henry that he's going to come up and be a potential. You heard it here first. I'm saying he's going to be a Pro Bowler. With D'Amico coaching him and under his tutelage, I think he's definitely on his way to being a Pro Bowl caliber player.
Do you think Blake Cashman could be a Pro Bowl?
I already think he is.
Think so?
Stand up, H-Town. Where y'all at? Represent.
Already. Now I'll tell you what. The one linebacker I'm not too sure about in this linebacker core is Christian Harris. I've always felt that way about him from the time that he was drafted until now. One, he's been injured. Two, he can't cover for shit. He can make some stops on the run sometime, but man, pass coverage, that boy a liability, bro. And honestly, I think at this point, it's time for us to move on from Christian Harris.
Well, you got to look at it like this. Have we given him a fast shake at it? I differ on Christian Harris. I actually love him in this defense. I actually love him with the fact of having a head coach who played the linebacker position, and he's an Alabama product. Shout out Alabama.
Oh man, stop.
Roll Tide, where we
Oh,
at?
my God.
We not doing that? Yeah, we got to give props to where it is, D. I mean, he only really had one season worth of sample play last year. He didn't even play the entire season. So really, technically, this is his first full year, and we had 6 games in the season. And that defense has a chemistry right now that I ain't too ready to break up. We can add something, but taking something away that's been kind of instrumental to where we getting to right now, I just don't think that's the answer right now.
Yeah.
And he can cover.
Nah,
He's got
bro.
range from sideline to sideline. Christian Harris got range.
Yeah, he got range because of his athleticism, but he can't cover, bro. He can't stop no pass. I done seen that boy lose his damn cleats on the field.
I'm not exactly sure what game that is. See, but that's the beauty of being on radio and not video. Because then right then and there, I would have you substantiate that accusation with some footage.
Yeah, we could. I tell you what, man. What I was gonna talk about? Oh, speaking of players not playing too many games, you know, your boy Derek Stingley, bro. He 2 games in on the season. How many games did he play last year?
I should have knew this was coming. See, we're gonna have to, first of all, before we even dive into that, we got to give the fans the real backdrop on this. All the way back to the NFL draft, when my man D-Raw, he was all on Sauce Gardner. And I was telling him, nah, from a prototypical standpoint, Derek Stingley possesses all the attributes to be an NFL star. He wanted Sauce Gardner, I wanted Derek Stingley. Now, of course, he had some injury issues coming out of college, I'll give you that. And that seems to be transitioned over to the NFL level as well. He's been hurt the last couple of seasons. But as we stand right now, he's on injury reserve, right?
Yeah, hamstring, out for what, 6 to 8 weeks?
But like we talked about before, why are NFL defenses showing him so much respect if he's this washed up byproduct?
Well, I never said he was a washed up byproduct, bro.
I mean, that's the way I took from what you said.
All I'm saying is he's not a true playmaker. He might be a solid man-to-man cover corner. He might be solid in the zone. But when have you ever really seen Derek Stingley make any plays? You ain't seen him force no fumbles. On a run stop, you ain't seen him get no picks. What is he really doing? He just out there playing man.
See, that's what I'm saying. If we're going to talk about it, let's be fair about it.
So
you need to pull up his stats. Because if you saying that Derek Stingley ain't got no interceptions, again, this is one of them wipe your glasses moments. Because I don't understand how you can say that he's never had an interception in his career.
Man, all right, look, let's see. He got 1 interception, bro.
That's more than the one you gave him.
So look, people, he played 9 games last year. He had 35 solos, 8 assisted, so that makes 43 total. He had 1 sack, 1 interception. It's not bad. It's not. But
No. Put the other key stat out there. In how many games?
9.
That's 9. That's not a complete NFL season.
So, all right. So if we look at it that way, he played 2 games this year, 9 last year. That's 11 games in total. And he got about, 52 total tackles so far, 1 sack, 1 interception. He sounds like a safety to me.
He sounds like a player that's been hurt at his position that needs to have a fair chance to prove his worth at that position.
Well, how can you give somebody a fair shake if he never helped you?
That's what I'm saying. When he comes back off an injury, this go round, this is how Derek Stingley. If he flops after that, I'll be the first one to say I was wrong. I'll eat them words. But if he come back and be a Pro Bowl caliber cornerback, and you heard it here first, D-Raw is going to buy my next Houston Texans jersey.
Okay. That's funny. That's funny, bro. All right, so let me ask you this. Since Derek Stingley been gone, have you really missed him? No.
Yes.
How? Shaq Griffin been playing well.
Okay, so let me do this here. The Texans was up game before last. Is that safe to say?
Mm-hmm.
And we came back and ended up losing that game by what? A field goal.
Against Atlanta, right?
Right. In that game against Atlanta, I missed them. Because they was dropping. The only way Atlanta fought back in that game was to go to their long air attack.
Well, you know what? I agree with you on that because honestly, when I was looking at that last drive, it was like, what, a minute left or something? And
You can say what they want to about Steven Nelson. Don't get me wrong. I like Steven Nelson as a number 2 quarterback.
Nah, he ain't no shutdown corner or nothing.
But we still needed Derek Stingley in that game. Who you gonna talk about now? Shaquille Griffin? He better than Derek Stingley?
I'm just saying they about the same right now, bro.
Before you dismiss Derek Stingley, you got to prove to me that there's someone on that roster right now that's totally and completely better than him.
I can't say nobody better than him, but I can't say nobody's pretty much worse than him either because, to be honest, Fedar Holman, he come in and he played pretty well.
All of them worse than him.
But how, though?
Every cornerback on that roster is not better than Derek Stingley.
Okay. So how much longer we got to worry about Derek Stingley being injured? Probably about, what, 3 more weeks?
At this point, probably about 3 more weeks. I'm telling you right now, with the Texans' record being 3-3, with a Derek Stingley back, with our offensive line not being bit by the injury bug, I can easily see us right now being 5-1.
Okay.
Very easy.
Okay. I think we would have been 5-1 more likely if we had Petrie the whole last 6 games.
Don't get me wrong, that's my boy right there. Now you're not gonna get me to ever say anything bad about him unless he just go to hitting the crack pipe.
All I'm saying is a good thing.
But
Petrie, to me, he the only true star on the defensive side of it.
no.
Now.
So you just gonna be real disrespectful to Mr. Anderson right now.
Anderson good, he ain't no star yet.
What?
He ain't no star?
People, let me tell you something. I started this podcast off by saying we was having a friendly drink and watching the traffic on 288 right now. But clearly, Bombshells has alcohol poisoning my co-host here. Because he's saying that Will Anderson Jr. is not a star right now. But when you turn on YouTube, all the videos about our defense is featuring Will Anderson. He's got more sports commentators, more podcasters talking about him. And you know, it really I hate to say this part, but they're talking about him more than Jalen Petrie. Look it up.
Well, that's also because he's a DN. DNs always get more shine than the safety.
No, it don't matter who you are in the NFL. If you bringing it, you bringing it. May I say another name that's not a defensive end who was well known, and he was on one of the hardest defenses ever.
Who?
Troy Polamalu.
Well, that's Troy Polamalu. He played
I'm just
linebacker.
saying.
He
He ain't play no linebacker. He was a safety.
I'm tripping. Well,
He tripping. Wipe
Yeah.
your glasses. Where we at? Pittsburgh. Don't throw no apples at the at
you
the
right.
speakers.
Nah.
Don't throw no apples right now. I got your back.
all right. He safety / linebacker. He played like a linebacker. Goddamn
He
it.
played just like Jalen Petrie. He was a safety that played close to the line. Come on now.
Mm-hmm.
That's why you in love with Jalen Petrie.
Petrie solid, bro. I also love Jalen Petrie because he's from the H.
Shout out every time.
So, I mean, you look at it like that. That's why I love him. But
You don't love him because of what he brings to the team?
well, I'm saying he had unconditional love. You know what I'm saying?
So you asked me a question. Let me ask you a question. You
What's
said, did we miss Derek Stingley while he's been out?
Yeah.
Did you miss Jalen Petrie when he was out?
Hell yeah. Hell to the yeah.
So the same way you feel about that gap in between him and the next man up, that's how I feel about Derek Stingley. Because when Derek Stingley on the field, that side of the field, you don't even have to worry about hardly game planning for. Because those offenses do not want to attack him. You want to talk about why he don't have that many interceptions? Why he don't have that many pass breakups? Because the offenses ain't even challenging him. That's the kind of respect he gets.
You know why I miss Jalen Petrie, bro?
Why?
Because he's probably the most dynamic safety we ever had. He can cover, he can hit. You can use him in all kind of blitz packages. He's just a weapon. Only other safety I can think that we had that was similar to him, but he couldn't cover, was Bernard Pollard.
Nah, that's disrespectful right there, bro.
Who else do you got in mind?
Jalen Petrie, by far, hands down, the best safety that we done had.
No, he is. I'm not saying that he's not, but I'm saying as far as like somebody to compare him to, probably Bernard Pollard because he can hit, but Bernard couldn't cover, bro, on the pass.
Let me ask you this here. When did Bernard Pollard lead the Texans?
Shit, that was like what, 2010?
See what I'm saying? When somebody starts talking
11.
like that was like, that means I don't know. Because you know why?
You know?
Because I don't care.
Hey, you might not care, but shit.
I lost no sleep when he was gone. I didn't know when he came in, and I didn't know when he left out.
Nah, you lost a little sleep.
Nah.
Because you know who they replaced him with? Eddie Pleasant and shit like that.
So you want to go digging at the bottom of the barrel to prove your point right there. Which I get it. If I was in your shoes, I would try to do that too. But at the same time, that's under whose tutelage? Who was the head coach then?
Kubiak.
No.
Kubiak was the coach, bro.
No.
When Pollard left,
You sure it wasn't Bill O'Brien?
it wasn't Bill O'Brien. It was Kubiak.
Because I remember Bill O'Brien bringing in a safety during his regime too.
He did bring in safeties. He brought in a couple safeties. He brought in one of the best ones he could bring in.
Who?
The Honey Badger.
Exactly. So you gonna say Pollard is a better comparison to Petrie than the Honey Badger?
Well, Honey Badger ain't really no hitter like that. He tried, but
He can cover though.
he covered, but he can't hit.
You
All
want to
right.
pull up his stats everywhere he been? He's nothing but a playmaker.
He is a playmaker. He
Except
ain't
for
no
this
hitter.
year, he over there at the Saints. I don't know. That Badger done lost some of his honey. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. And he lost a lot of honey. I think A's starting to catch up with him a little bit.
Definitely, because the Texans actually picked on him quite a bit in that game.
I already know what they was getting out of him.
So, we talked about the current players that's on the roster. As we are in this bye week right now, there are a lot of rumors circulating out there. Texans should go and try and get this person. Texans should try and go and get this person. So first of all, in your opinion, D-Raw, what are some of the Texans' areas of opportunity?
Receiver.
So we need to get better at receiver?
Receiver and D tackle.
That would be your top priority, receiver.
And of course, I mean, you can always get a better O lineman, but that's gonna be tough.
I'm not a big
But
fan of
I
trying
really-
to
I
get
really-
an O-lineman
I really like
in the
our
middle of
O-line.
the season.
I like what we got on the O line. The only reason I say that also is because look, we had when he got Kendrick Green, and now look at him, he on IR or some shit too.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really not worth taking a chance on an lineman like that. I feel like a lot of times they get injured more than the damn skilled players.
So let's do this. Taking wide receiver off that list, what's the next area that you would concentrate some effort into besides wide receiver?
Pass rush.
Absolutely. So what's out there now?
You had somebody had just got cut. I
It
can't
can't
remember.
just be anybody. It's got to be somebody that
No.
can come in and make an instant impact.
Well, we did just pick up Myjai Sanders. He got cut from Arizona. I think he might better come in and make an impact. I mean, we'll see. 247 pounds, 6'5". Last year he had 3 sacks, 23 tackles. I don't know how many games he played, but
Yeah, but can he be what this defense needs? See, that D-line needs somebody on the opposite side of Will Anderson
well, let me ask you
to
this:
keep
you
the
don't
offense honest.
you don't like John Grenard?
I love him. I love the way he's playing right now. Let me say this. Before this season, I was never high on him. But this year, he has made me say,
I was gonna say because not last season, but the year before that, his rookie season, I think the boy had anywhere from like 6 to 8 sacks. So he got the potential. It's there.
He definitely got the potential. I agree with you on that. Won't get any argument. As long as he keep playing the way that he's playing right now, I'm gonna stay quiet about him because I'm a little scared that if I go to giving him too much praise, he might disappear. But let's talk about this. I've been hearing the rumors just like you done heard the rumors.
Mm-hmm.
They're talking about doing a little deal with the Commanders to get Chase Young. How you feel about that?
That would be nice. I mean, as long as we ain't giving up too much, I don't know if I wouldn't give up that first round pick and them for no Chase.
Oh no, we
Chase
definitely not gonna sell the farm to get him. But
I'll probably give him like a 4th and like maybe a 3 and a 4 or something like that. Three from next year or some shit.
To me,
but
a
even
3
then,
is still a reach.
Yeah, I'm about to say because that nigga he been hurt, so.
I was gonna say you got that kind of praise for him, a dude that ain't even one of us, but you ready to throw Stingley under the bus.
Well,
it's the same situation. They both been hurt,
bro,
but they had a lot of potential coming into the league.
That's true, but we seen Chase Young make plays though.
You know, I'm gonna have to get security. I thought this was gonna be a friendly little debate. We'll talk so.
It's true, bro.
But I see my co-host want to keep putting his knife to my back behind Derek Stingley. And I really love Derek Stingley. I'm going to be honest with you. Derek, I hope you out there somewhere listening to this, bro. I'm going to need you to step up when you come off this injury right here. Because we got some naysayers in the family that don't believe. But I believe in you, bro. And I'm standing on my 10 toes that say, when he come back and he get bit by this bug, because you got to admit, at the beginning of the season, the early predictions of where the Texans was going to be this year and where we actually are right now, bro, we have the potential to make the playoffs. Or is that too early? I'm just saying.
Nah, looking at, D'Amico going into the bye week at 3-3, bro, knocking off the Saints, putting up against a good fight against the Falcons.
Shout out to the whole Texans. Defense, offense, special teams, what y'all did against the Saints was a stand-up job. Kudos.
For real. Kudos to them. The biggest surprise win to me was actually Pittsburgh. That's what really got me going. You know what I'm saying? Before the Saints and all that. Because I was looking at Pittsburgh, and I was just surprised how we handled T.J. Watt and Alex Highsmith.
Absolutely.
Alex Highsmith off the edge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, Kenny Pickett, he an average quarterback and stuff. We did our due diligence with him and their offense, but their defense, bro, is dangerous.
Very.
The way we was talking about our offensive line, looking at Tunsil didn't even play in that game. Titus Howard didn't play in that game. We had George Fant and I can't remember who was on the left side. So looking at that point, man, I was really surprised at how we defeated Pittsburgh, and then we blew them out the water 30-6, bro.
Well, that don't surprise me that you were surprised that we beat Pittsburgh so handily. That's because, it's levels to being a Houston Texans fan. You got those low-level fans that sit up in those nosebleed seats, and then you got us real fans who get down on the field, get dirty. We can really stand out there next to D'Amico with the rest of the team, because we believe just that hard. So it don't really surprise me whenever we win. I'll be most surprised when we lose.
Well, what out of the 3 games that we lost, which one was the biggest? Well, Atlanta was the big surprise. But was you surprised that we lost to Baltimore and Indy?
To be honest with you, I was surprised that we lost to Baltimore. And if you go back, I'm going to tell you just how much potential we have in Houston right now. Mm-hmm. If you go back and look at Baltimore in every game that they played this season, which team gave them the hardest battle? It was us, bro.
Yeah?
It was us.
But that also go to show that the Texans might really be playoff made this year.
I agree.
Because
but I do still think, though, Dion, like, I'm riding your brainwave on that right now, bro. I'm really feeling you right now. I don't know if it's you or if it's this French connection, but I'm feeling something at this table right now. But I want to ask you again, what are we missing to get over that hump to make it into the playoffs this year?
It gotta be somebody on defense, bro.
It gotta be.
It gotta be pass rush or something.
So do we need linebacker or do we need D-line? Because I'm telling you right now,
it's got to be D-line.
As much as anybody want to say anything negative, I think our secondary, with the rotation of players that we have, it's a job done by committee right now.
I'm gonna be honest. Like, if you just look
but
at
they solid. They're solid.
If you look at the Texans defense right now, I don't know where they rank in the league, bro, but that's a top 10 defense in the league right now. Just the way they playing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I think it was early this morning, I believe. What's the guy's name? He's been around the sports world for a long time. Colin Hurd. He actually gave us our props and said we are top 10 defense.
I also seen him giving props to C.J. Stroud, and he just talked about the Texans possibly being a playoff contender as well.
So, with that being said, we know what we have, but we have to discover what we need. And I have yet to get a definitive answer out of you. And we might need to do this. We might need to do this. What do we need to do to lock this thing down? Because once we get those starters out that's been hurt, you're looking at a dog out there on that field.
All right, so look, if we made a trade for Devontae Adams, do you think they'll put us over the edge? That would put us over the top, bro. I mean, yeah, we don't need a receiver like that, but we don't really have no number one like that, bro. Nico good, but he ain't no Devontae.
Let me tell you something. Coming into this season right now, if you would have said what you just said, I don't think you would have got too many people to buy into that.
Yeah,
that Nico's good. Based off of his performance, another player who was drafted high that's been bit by the injury bug. But coming into this season, again, I think it's all about DeMeco and C.J. Stroud. Because they have found a way to bring the dog out of people.
That Bobby Slowick just put together.
I seen Nico Collins make some catches this year that I know I've seen him make before. But yard after catch, the yak, it just wasn't there. Yeah. He catch the ball and go straight down. This year, it's like he fighting. So I believe I'm a newfound believer in Nico Collins. I think he's solid enough for us to make it through this season. You talking about bringing in a Devontae Adams? Okay, we need to look at it though. So look, because that's another one where I'm not gonna sell the form.
So do you think? Let's just say we got Devontae Adams for a good deal. We didn't give up our first round pick or whatever. But do you think getting Devontae will hurt the development of C.J. Stroud?
No.
You don't think so? You think it'll just better him?
I think Devontae Adams, it's the perfect time to bring him in to what we have here now. Because he was in a program or an organization where he could easily get the big head because he was getting all the targets, he was making all the catches, he was a true number one receiver.
Especially in Green Bay.
Yeah. But now, by Vegas, him going over there to Vegas,
he ain't getting it.
It's been a humbling experience for him.
It's not, honestly, bro, like for him, it's not even really that he's not getting it. He is set up for bad passes. I don't know if you've been watching the Raiders, but Garoppolo, bro, he's a bad quarterback.
That's what I'm saying. So to go from playing on a team where you had a quarterback that can get you the ball and you can live up to your potential to going to a team where the quarterback can't get you the ball and you out there running your routes, man, you have to go back and look at some of the games and look at his frustration on field. It's really starting to show. It's plays where he runs and he's wide open, he got his hands up, but the quarterback just can't get him the ball.
Yeah.
And then to leave there and go somewhere where you got a rookie quarterback out here that's breaking all kind of records, I think his mindset is going to come in and gel right in with our chemistry.
Yeah, and then just the culture that we have, created here in Houston with DeMeco and that 49er scheme, bro, like I think that would be perfect for Devontae Adams, And
Do
also,
you not love our culture right now?
you can't not love it, bro. It's the culture that we've been asking for years, and I could just see him in a Texans uniform and what he could do, and it would also help Tank Dell just be able to be even more explosive, because now you got to try to cover all that.
Nico Collins, Devontae Adams, and Tank Dell in a 3-wide receiver set.
Dangerous. And if Mechie get his shit together, you can
No.
do it.
I'm gonna apologize to y'all right now, because for a second I put a stain on my man brain, D-Rock. I put a little stain on his brain, and he forgot where he came from. And he said one word that we know in H-Town got to be said a little bit different. So I'm gonna go back. We're gonna rewind. Nico Collins, Tank Dell, Devontae Adams in a 3-wide receiver set. What's that D word? Dangerous. Let's get out of here. That shit ain't dangerous. It's dangerous. H-Town, stand up.
And Dalton Schultz coming off the tight end.
He's been a great acquisition.
Hey, look,
now that first two games,
he was looking questionable.
You know,
You think the Texans gonna resign him?
I didn't think they got no choice. It just makes sense.
Yeah.
After the last game, you see him catch a touchdown and go do the James Worthy layup to the fans. Come on now, he bought in.
Boy, a true weapon. He's a good route runner. He was good in Dallas though. I'm surprised Dallas didn't bring him back, to be totally honest.
Well, they got that younger rookie guy
Jake Ferguson.
that they got a lot of hopes in. So
Yeah.
he was expendable.
Hey, what they say, someone's trash is always someone else's treasure, man. This Dalton Schultz, I think he could be a Texan for a long time.
Shout out to the Dallas Cowboys for being exactly who I thought they have been their entire life. Losers, and we appreciate y'all throwing those shoots out. We picked him up happily. Thank you.
Yeah, so at this point of the podcast, where we at, man? Where we at?
It's the Houston Sports Connoisseurs. Don't forget to seek, listen, and learn to be a sports connoisseur just like me.
The sports connoisseur, D-Raw.
We talking about okay, so we talked about some possible acquisitions.
So we talked about Devontae Adams. Is there a defensive player that you think that the Texans should go out and get?
Well, me personally, I do think we can upgrade that linebacker room. I think that would be a huge start.
At which end would you like? Left, outside, inside, or what?
To be honest, it's got to be an outside linebacker, only because of the simple fact that we need to bring more pressure. So we need that two-way player at linebacker who can blitz and cover. Aside from that, I think we can just hold tight on just forcing anything. Because to be honest with you, we're looking at a team that has done what it has done so far, and yet and still we have yet to put our entire off-season list of starters on the field for one full game.
And that's what makes the Texans so dangerous, bro. You know what I'm saying? That's what makes us have so much hype to, going towards this latter end of the season that we could possibly make a run in the playoffs.
So give your prediction. What do you see us ending up after 17 games? What's our record? Without making any other acquisitions, just keeping the team we have right now intact.
All right, so let's just see. Right now we're 3-3. I think we come out the bye. We should definitely beat Carolina. So that'll make us 4-3. Tampa is a toss-up game.
Trash. Go ahead.
I would say, but I think we pull that one out too, especially because we at home. So I would say that put us at 5-3.
Mike Evans, all I got to say to you, boy, start sleeping light at night, because if Derek Stingley come back that game,
I was about to say,
we beat Tampa Bay.
Stingley should be back by then. Then we'll be at Cincinnati. Now that game, the way Joe Burrow playing, I don't think we got enough to beat them, but I think we'll put up a damn good fight.
I'm going to say it like this. I know we have enough to beat them. It's just that our offense isn't balanced enough for me. against Cincinnati because the run game has fell off this year.
Yeah, speaking of that, bro, like looking at Damian Pierce, like I mean, last game against the Saints, he had that one big run, you know, but overall this season he only got 281 yards on the season. That's what, like 46 yards a game. That's totally that pales in comparison to what he did last season in his rookie year.
And I know what some of y'all out there thinking, well, he's doing 46 yards, but Singletary, they doing it by committee, a two-back rotation.
Hey.
But
And then statistically, if you look at it, they both, Pierce and Singletary played 6 games. Singletary got 153 yards. Pierce got 281 yards. Singletary almost averaging 4 yards a carry, bro, on 39 carries.
yeah, that's not good.
So
Is that because of the offensive line, or what you think?
I think Pierce is used to like a power run system where he just run downhill. He's not really good at making people miss. Singletary is better at that. He's better out of the backfield catching the ball. He's better at making people miss, and he's more patient, especially in the zone run scheme that we got now. And that's the difference between the two. If Pierce can learn how to be more patient in the backfield, and then he could use that aggressiveness to get downhill, he'll be all right. But right now, he just ain't got it. And I think, honestly, in this system right now, Singletary probably needs to get more carries than Pierce.
Whoa!
But look, it's a whoa. But I'm gonna say this though, I really, really love what they did against the Saints. I love how they complement each other.
But you know something else that they did against the Saints that I feel compelled to mention? They didn't go just with a 1-2 back rotation. They brought in the third string.
Yeah, they brought in Boone, huh?
Yeah. And he got some productive moments. So shout out to D'Amico for being honest with himself and knowing what he have and still searching for the answers. Even though a lot of people would be like, nah, Pierce is my guy, Pierce is my guy. That's what I love about D'Amico. He keeps a steady rotation of the players going. Not only on the offensive side, but the defensive side. Because like I say, they rotating cornerback in there like we at the club or something. They passing out free hurricanes.
And the best thing about it, when we do rotate a cornerback in, they be ready to go though.
They be ready to go.
They don't be lacking, you know what I'm saying, giving up big plays and shit like that. They be all right.
And that's all about the culture. So, you started off on it. Where do we end up at the end of the season with no additional players added?
So, I said we lose to Cincinnati. Arizona gonna play us hard. They play everybody hard, but at home, I think we take care of Arizona.
You gotta know, Murray will be back by the time we play.
Kyler Murray will be back, but he'll probably be rusty. So it'll be the perfect time for us to take care of Arizona.
All right.
And then also, you kind of got to look at like what weapons do Arizona really have to really phase our defense.
Well, their running back is proven, so we already know they're gonna
But we already
ball.
proved that we can stop the run. We did that against Atlanta. We can stop the run
against a rookie.
Against a rookie, and then with Algiers, he ain't
and
no
you know
rookie.
what? I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna be a man about this here. Going into the NFL draft, people write this down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. This is probably one of the first times, last time you're gonna hear me say something like this. Going into the NFL draft last season, my man D-Raw was really, 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 really high
on
Bijan. I wasn't all that high on him.
Hey,
but hats off, he came in, he put the work in. Bijan is looking like
could you imagine what Bijan would look like in this Texan offense though? If we had, let's say we got C.J. Stroud and Bijan. Imagine that offense. That'd be dynamic, bro.
That's a great what if, but I'm gonna be honest with you. With what I see in Will Anderson, I still wouldn't. I'm glad with what we got.
I am too.
I'm glad with what we got.
I mean, I just like Bijan, you know. But
Bijan is a dog.
But yeah, Bijan is a dog. But
shout out to Bijan who had a fumble against the Texans, but that's okay.
That's true. he ain't the next Adrian Peterson. So at the end of the day, it really don't matter.
Who?
Bijan.
It's still too early to make that. But I see great things with that young man.
He gonna be great.
I
but
see great things.
I like Damian Pierce though. You know what I'm saying? Damian, he just gotta go to training camp or whatever you want to say. He need to go to some camps where he paid for it. You know, get a little bit better with his footwork, get a little bit more finesse, be a little bit more patient. But that just comes with reps. And he'll be okay.
I think too, what you got to look at is early on in the season, defenses were playing the Texans as if
All they can do is run.
It's a rookie quarterback. We gonna stack the box. We gonna bring pressure. We gonna blitz him and play the run. Now here lately, over the last few weeks, with the passing game opening up, I'm thinking you're gonna see some better looks for our running backs coming out there.
Yeah,
It's gonna be easier to run.
that's true. So let me get back on the schedule. So I think we beat Jacksonville at home. I think we'll take care of Jacksonville this year, sweep them. Denver. If we beat Jacksonville, hopefully we don't overlook Denver.
But wait a minute, Jacksonville just beat the Saints.
They did.
So is that saying something about Jacksonville, or is that saying something about the Saints?
Both.
Because we just beat the Saints. Maybe we knocked the fight out of them.
Nah, it came down to the wire though. Well, they did beat the Saints, but I mean, I think both teams are good. Saints probably still got a possibility of going to the playoffs, you know. But Jacksonville's a solid team. We knew that coming into the season. You know, they got a solid quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. They got a good running back in I can't remember his name.
Alvin Kamara?
No, we talking about the Jaguars.
Oh, Etienne?
Yeah, Etienne, Travis Etienne. They got solid receivers, so they're a solid team. But I think we'll handle them at home, and we'll beat them. And then hopefully, you know what I'm saying, we don't, at that point in the season, we don't overlook Denver, because I could see that being like a trap game where we lose to Denver or something. But hopefully, you know, that should be a W. You know, just the way Denver looking. I don't really foresee anything really changing with that team unless they really make some drastic changes along the way.
You say we beat Jacksonville.
We beat Jacksonville. We beat Denver. New York, we probably lose to New York. Only because we away. New York got a bona fide ass defense. Zach Wilson, he ain't really all that good, but who's in really know shit. I just seen Aaron Rodgers throwing passes on the sideline last week, so
let's match that up.
Motherfucker might be back.
The Texans defense is getting stronger and stronger with each passing game.
Mm-hmm.
The Jets have a top tier defense. So I can see that game being a defensive struggle that comes down to the play of the quarterback. Now we're talking about Wilson versus Stroud.
Stroud all day. So you think we win?
This man asked me, do I think we win? Hey, boo-boo. I know we win.
Okay.
We gonna have us a picnic. Yes, sir.
So at that point, let me see. We beat Carolina. We beat Tampa. We beat Arizona. Jacksonville. Denver. New York. We already like 9-4.
9-3.
No, because I said we'll lose to Cincy.
That's what you said.
You think we're gonna be on a win streak like that,
Man,
bro?
I think we can. Man, I told you before I came on here behind the scenes that I felt like the Texans have the potential to be the shocker of the NFL this year.
Well, I'm gonna say this. I think, me personally, I think one of these games that we just talked about, one of these games, bro, is gonna be like that Atlanta game, where it's gonna be more like a learning curve for the coaches, and they're gonna lose.
If we stay healthy, let me tell you something. The part I like about D'Amico and Bobby Slowick, they too young to be scared. They got something to prove. So they got this fearless mentality that they have instilled in our players. And that swarm is real, baby.
Swarm real.
It's real, baby.
I agree with that. Swarm is real. All right, so look, the last 4 games. Tennessee, Cleveland, Tennessee. Again, in Indianapolis. How you think we do?
Here's the crazy part. Anybody that's a real Houston Texans fan know that we are infamously known for this. We'll win games we ain't got no business being in, and the games that we supposed to win, we'll lose. Now, with those being division games, the last 4, with the exception of Cleveland, you got 2 against Tennessee and 1 against Indianapolis. I know my Texans. I can easily see us losing 1 or 2 of those last.
I'm gonna tell you this: Week 15 against Tennessee at Tennessee, they better whoop Tennessee ass because they gonna be wearing the Houston Oilers uniforms.
So we owe them a little something.
Yeah, we owe them ass whoop.
All right. So now we done went down the whole schedule. Where we at? You get your prediction, and I'm gonna get mine.
Let's see, man. So I said it was like 9-4. That was with Carolina, Tampa, Arizona, Jacksonville, Denver. I think we lose to New York. We beat Tennessee. That Cleveland game, I don't know, bro. I think we beat Tennessee twice, and we probably beat Indy. So we might be at about like, I think we win about 11 games, bro.
You must have read my mind. I was sitting here saying somewhere around 11 or 12 wins. Now, here's the phrase that pays, or the question that matters. Will that be enough for us to win our division?
Can I get another beer?
Can I get a cigar box? You want some of this?
Nah, I'm good, bro. I'm good. Cool.
I ain't gonna do nothing second home. It probably end up being an afterthought.
I'm surprised you taking that shit to go, man.
Yeah, it's got fajita meat in it. I can't.
Yeah. I was about to say that cheese don't really look like it's gonna do good in the microwave anyway.
Air fry. This man is all out here talking about a microwave. How 1995 is that? Bro, people just want this air fry. It's the new thing like the George Foreman. Come on out here. But anyway, yeah, so that's our rundown for the Texans right now. I feel like we had a great discussion about the team, the current state, the future, where it's going, the different players.
Well, hold up. We ain't really talked too much on the future.
As far as what?
Do you think in the next 2 or 3 years we know?
We hoisting the trophy. Is that what you asking me?
Yeah.
Are we gonna hoist the Lombardi?
Yeah.
Lord, I gotta go talk to this bartender, y'all, because this boy's been drinking a little too much out here, man, and he just ordered a fresh one. Have you lost your H-Town mind?
Bro, 2-3 years?
Bro, 2-3 years? Hey, H-Town, y'all gonna call me crazy.
Well, look.
But my real H-Towners gonna feel me. In 2-3 years, we might have 2-3 trophies.
I'm with that. I'm with that.
What's up?
I'm with that.
I'm saying right now, this year,
Hey,
we a threat.
I ain't gonna lie. Like, if we make a good move before the trade deadline, we on the right track. Because you always got to make your good moves before you pay your rookie quarterback. So as long as we make the good moves to put everybody else under the books before then, we'll be all right.
Look, it's known around the league. Great players want to go and play in great places. Like I say, D'Amico Ryans has done what it has taken to make Houston a great place to play football. So it ain't gonna do nothing but attract high free agents.
Facts. And it's Houston.
So we ain't gotta rely so heavily on the draft no more to get players. Players are gonna contact us and wanna be out here. And guess what? When that go down, as we say in H-Time, it go down.
Let's make it happen, baby.
Let's make it happen.
Hey, appreciate you being on the show, bro.
Man, I appreciate you having me, man.
Hey, thank you everybody for listening. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Show support. Give me your feedback.